Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm Jerry from Bigelow Woodcraft, and today's not a woodcraft day. In fact, we're not even playing with wood, but we're going to work on something that handles my wood. The Mahindra tractor 1533, a couple weeks ago, you may recall I developed some front seal leaks on the axles. Well, today's the day to address it. I think it's coming out of the spindle that comes where the wheel is. There's two possible places, and I believe I tracked it down on both sides. Hopefully I'm correct, because I only bought the seals that where I think where it's leaking. I went on YouTube. There is nothing on this 1533 pulling these front hubs apart. I suspect they're like a few of the others, the Kubotas, the TYMs, things like that. But I'm not sure. So stick around and let's see what we can get into. So first thing, I'm going to start on the passenger side, because that was the one that was leaking the worst. But now I look at the puddles, that one's leaking. I don't know, maybe they're both pretty bad. So we're going to turn to the one, see what it takes, and see what it takes to get that done. And if we have time, we'll do the other one. I'm going to start off by saying, guys, I'm not a mechanic. I'm not a tractor mechanic, a car mechanic. I'm not a welder. I'm not a tree feller. I'm nothing like that. I'm just the guy who tries to do a bunch of things on his own. I have a big toolbox. And hopefully it's got enough tools in there that we can do this job. It doesn't scare me because parts are parts. You can always get more parts. You can always fix it. So let's get these wheels off, the axle fluid drained, and go from there. I was doing so well paying attention. I was doing so good paying attention. Went in to grab a bite. I didn't think it was that much left in there. I guess there's probably a couple of quarts. I put 4 quarts in. I've been keeping it topped off. I have the proper thing on that side. I really didn't think there was that much in there. Oh well. I suspect it's coming out of this seal. There's 2 seals in here. One behind this spindle. One behind this spindle, and one back here. This is dry. This is where it appears it's all coming from. Off, so that's a good sign. Let's give it a rubber mallet, like a couple like taps. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It might be a little dark in here, but what I'm trying to do is take this hub off. There we go. That's what's going to happen. Okay. Let's get some more sawdust down here. Okay, everything looks good back there and in here. So, let's go see what, there must have been a gasket on that other side. Let me take a look. Is all that? What the heck? Did I see silicone seal? Oh, there's an O-ring. Okay, there's an O-ring there. God, I wonder if it was, no, it wasn't leaking out that O-ring. I'm pretty sure it was leaking down there. That was always wet. another snap ring in here. Let's take that off. This is the rubber seal I'm looking to replace. Just pry it up, see what happens. Right. A lot missing. All right, so what I'm going to do, we're going to take the other one off right now, and then we'll get them both cleaned up and hopefully not swap them around. Well, that's about as far as we can go until we get new bearings. So we're ready to go. I think what I'll do is get changed and we'll switch gears here, and we will sharpen a blade, maybe cut some firewood. I need to cut firewood for deer camp. We have a bunch of guys that come up from October till January, and we burn a lot of firewood, and so, you know, bonfires and stuff like that. So I got a bunch of dead pines standing from the gypsy moth invasion a few years ago that died, white pine, and we're going to cut them up into firewood. So let's get a blade sharpened up or a chain sharpened up and go from there. I don't always sharpen with the Oregon sharpener. I don't remember what model number this is, but I bought this about 20 plus years ago. I had a Harbor Freight one. I use the Harbor Freight one now only to knock down the rakers. And I have a Foley chainsaw sharpener, but I use that now to sharpen my blades for my bandsaw, my sawmill. But yeah, we'll use the files like everybody else, but eventually I get them out of whack a little bit, and I just want to get them tuned back in. And this, it's not factory edge, but it's pretty close when you run it through this. I know I can get it sharper usually with a file, but I noticed this chain was getting a little out of whack, so what I'm looking for is consistency in the grinds. Yeah, it's looking really good. That was the Foley I was telling you about. I have a CBN wheel on here now for the bandsaw sharpener. I wish I got out here earlier today. It's already evening time. It's probably 7 o'clock. We're going to call it good for tonight. We'll come back out here tomorrow and pick it up before it gets warm. It was a pretty nice day. And you ever lose something and you said, I'm not doing anything until I find it? I spent 2 hours looking for something today. Why? Why do we do that to ourselves? My mom would always pray to St. Anthony, the saint of finding things, I think is what St. Anthony's known for, or St. Tony. So I couldn't find my log tongs. They were exactly where I put them. I just laid them on the workbench. They're just laying right there. But I literally looked around for 2 hours. But we'll pick these up tomorrow, get the SuperSplit up here, split all this pine up so we have some good bonfire wood. I did cut a couple oaks. You saw that, a couple small oaks that blew down just recently. One just fell across the trail. Today is Monday, so Saturday night. Then the other one fell in the spring, and then these dead pines. But, oh, I see that branch over there. I cut that up too. I'll do that in the morning. I see a couple more dead ones. But this is all going to be bonfire wood. So I'll see you guys in the morning. Every year, come deer camp, I never have firewood for out here, and we always end up burning firewood for the house. So this is just that bunch of junky pine and some scrap oak that was down, some tops, some branches, and old dead trees that blew down. So I'm going to try to get a couple more rows of this. I'm trying to get ahead of the game this year. Oh, I want to ask you one thing. My dad had, you'll see this video Friday, today's Tuesday. My dad had his knee replaced today. I already talked to him on the phone. It's what, 11 o'clock?
It might be closer to noon. I'm
Closer
not
to
even sure.
noon. He's already been home for over an hour.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
So
He was in for less than 6 hours.
That's crazy. Yeah, he was in less than I was probably. I think he's on the surgery is at 5:30. So or maybe that's what time he had to get there. I'm not 100% sure. But if you could, wish him a happy healing, and I guess that's the term for a happy healing. Good recovery.
Fast, smooth recovery.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for in New Year's here. So. All right, guys, we'll see you out here at the mill, the cabin, the forest, the lumberyard,
Log splitter,
wherever. SuperSplit for the win. Take care, guys. We'll see you next time.
Have a good one.